Hello folks and good evening, welcome along to the channel. We are here for Season 2, Round 7 at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix in Imola, and we are here for a 100% race, 63 laps around the 3.05 mile long racetrack, or if you prefer that in kilometres, 4.909 kilometres. We're going to have one DRS zone here with 19 corners. The tyres that we're going to be using are the C5 soft, the C4 mediums and the C3 hard compound tyres, so the softest of the bunch. Right now we'll have a quick look at the stand-ins and we'll see how things are going. So, where is it? So here we go, driver stand-ins. Craters is at the top with 102 points, with RKA in second on 75 points, and we've got Verpe on 64 points, 47 points for Evan in fourth. Lendez in 45 with 45 points in fifth, and then we've got Bucko on 39, tying with Captain Jeff for that sixth position. We've got Lupars on 31, 26 points for Owen David, who can't make it tonight, and we've got RIZE on 24 points, closely followed by Elpars behind them by 1 point. We'll have a quick look at do we have the constructors? Yep, there we go. So, quick look at the constructors. Sauber are at the top with 170 points, with Alpine in second on 122. Aston Martin are on 81. Mercedes on 76, Haas are on 63 in fifth. Then we've got Williams on 44, 41 points for Red Bull. RB are on 38 points in eighth. In ninth is McLaren on 32 points, and Ferrari are on 13 points. So we're just waiting for a few of the drivers to get their strategies sorted, get their tyres packed, fuel loads, setups, everything. And usually we do this in qualifying, but right now this is when we are going to do it. So the grid has already been set. So here we go, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And we're not even going to get formation lap. This is surprising them. We're already away. Captain Jeff, first driver to get a penalty, and it's a drive-through penalty right away. Looking at Stacey Lou and Elpers here, getting a terrible camera shot there. And jeezy peeps, it doesn't even give you a chance here. Stacey Lou getting a terrible start and is down into fourth place. And now Sheepers moves up and also moves up into fourth place. Stacey Lou now down into fifth, goes wide at Villeneuve on the exit and ends up all the way down to the back. Unfortunately, not their race right now. Side by side is Bucko and Dirty Zombie, as they are fighting between 10th and 9th place right now. Of course, and they'll go Craters getting passed by Captain Jeff. Bit of a surprise one. Just give me a moment, folks, and we'll be able to get the chat up in just a second. So yeah, I think that's still in the process of loading right now. Elper's getting the first helping of time penalties in regards to a 3-second time penalty already for exceeding track limits. The McLaren team is actually pulling away quite nicely there, but Sheepers is keeping them humble. Only half a second behind, still got in that DRS range. Ensto's just slightly slipped out of it and is right next to his teammate of Lupars. And we've got Craters, who's top of the pack at the moment. Did start down in 10th. We'll see if they've got what it takes to keep that momentum going that they did get at the start. And what we'll have a look at, since we haven't had a look yet, is tyres. So we're seeing the McLarens are on a split strategy, and same with the Mercedes. One is on a set of mediums and one is on a set of hards. Dirty Taffy on the hards, Elpars on mediums, and we've got Sheepers on the mediums, same with Loopers and Criters, who's just managed to get past Enzer in that other Mercedes who's on the hard compound tyres. RIZE McGurk looking for a move, going into turn 18 into Ravazza, and now moves up into 6th place. Nicely done there from the Haas. Very ballsy position to go for a move. And we're looking up front, we can see Criters making his way past the Mercedes, the Mercedes, sorry, of Loopers. Cheesy Peeps slopping up here. And Dirty Zombie and Buckle goes a bit wide there at Tamburello, and unfortunately does end up losing a place. Dirty Zombie up in the 8th. Captain Jeff has served their 3-second drive-through penalty. It is quite a long one here, unfortunately, so a bit unfortunate in that regard. Just give me one moment. So, Sheepers is around. And that was at Curva Grissini. That is not a good place. Hopefully no damage to that Ferrari. No damage at all, so that's good. Criters putting in the fastest lap, and I think that may have been a battle between the two there. RIZE McGurk now moving up into 4th position. Both the McLarens are fighting up top, and that's not going to be good for them, as Criters is right on the tail of the McLarens out in front. All those watching along right now, welcome along to the channel. If you haven't already, a little subscribe would go a long way, of course. That'll get me up to 60 subscribers, of course. But yeah, it does help out a lot, and it would also keep you updated on any other times that I do go live. Criters now right on the tailcoats of the McLarens out in front there, and I think it could be going for a possible move going down into the Tamburello chicane. He's not going to go for it just yet, but I could certainly expect to see a lot of that battery being used. He's got 95% battery, almost 100% battery, and looking on right now could be going for that move to move up into top spot right now. There we go, he's using that battery, using the DRS, and he goes straight through the middle. And that was absolutely spectacular. Dirty Taffy loses 2 positions. Loopers, though, is battling with RIZE McGurk. Is Dirty Taffy going to be... Oh, he seems okay there. He just went a bit wide at Tamburello, and Loopers being ever ambitious, looking for any which opportunity he can to get past that Haas. Criters looks like he's in a league of his own right now, and that Sauber is handling like it's on rails right now, it seems. Oh, Stacey Lou getting another 3-second time penalty. In fact, we'll have a look at the penalty situation. Both the McLarens have got penalties. 3 seconds worth to... Oh, Dirty Taffy and RIZE McGurk there. I did miss that, unfortunately. Battling out there, but RIZE McGurk... Dirty Taffy, sorry, has got a 3-second time penalty. Same with Ends in the Mercedes. Dirty Zombie in 8th has got 6 seconds worth. Same with Stacey Lou and Elpars in the other McLaren. Captain Jeff getting a 3-second time penalty. First driver to get a penalty tonight, and now getting another penalty. Unfortunately, did end up getting a drive-through for a false start, and yeah, of course, you never want to end up having one of them, as that does end up bringing you right down. It's Kreiters is looking like he's actually managed to pull away. He's got over a second gap now, and technically, in terms of racing at the end of it, it's technically over a 7-second gap right now, as the McLarens both have 6 seconds worth of penalties right now. We're going to go back down. No driver has made a pit stop as of yet. Anyone in the chat, feel free to fire a comment in. Right now we're watching RIZE McGurk as he could be going for that move on the McLaren, moving up into 3rd place. Nicely does it. And McGurk now takes that 3rd position. Dirty Taffy is going to have to wait a little until the later half of this Grand Prix in order to make a proper impact. A lovely aerial shot of that Mercedes there. With this battle going on for 3rd, he's managing to catch up here. 3-second time penalty for RIZE McGurk. That's going to be a little better for Dirty Taffy anyway. You only have to be 3 seconds ahead up to now of the Haas. Oh, Dirty Taffy, is he going to go for it? Nope, he's not getting close enough, it seems. Evan getting himself a penalty also. Not very nice when that does end up happening. Sitting buckle as he takes a little peek going into Villeneuve, seeing if he can make a move. And he does on the exit, going into Toza, and nicely does it up into 8th place. They go. Stacey Lou being overtaken by Captain Jeff, who, what the flip? And he, what? There was no... What happened there? Hey, I'm going to need to go back on that one, folks. That was a bit of an odd one. I'll need to get back to you and find out what actually happened there. Captain Jeff not having the best of races. That was so we're going to see any drivers opt for pits. So we've seen Kreiters opt for a pit, jumping on the soft tyres, it seems. Quite an interesting strategy. And Sheepers, what are they going on? They're on the hard compound tyres now. Stacey Lewis staying out, and we're going to have the safety car for a few laps. We'll see if we could get any feedback from Captain Jeff as to what just happened. But that was a how unusual one, I will say. Just wait for Stacey Lou to catch up to the back of the pack, and then we should be able to get back underway, racing again, probably on end of lap 11, start of lap 12. So all those watching right now, welcome along. Seen our view count go up a little, so so just finding out. Some people are actually surprised at some drivers that didn't pit. So a bit interesting there is a lot of drivers didn't feel comfortable on the hard tyres, but they're still going to be carrying on. Looking like we are going to get carrying on. The one who's going to be taking us away is going to be Elpars, followed closely by RIZE McGurk there, and Dirty Taffy just behind in the other McLaren for support. So now coming into Ravazza. When is Elpars going to go? He's going right out that corner, the final corner of turn 19. Sorry, is that turn 18? I forget. I'm going to need to find that out again. I forget if that little kink just before the line comes is a corner or not. But looking on right now, it doesn't look like anyone is going to be managing to go for any overtakes as of yet. Oh, but hold on a minute, is RIZE McGurk going to try for it? No, doesn't look like it. Also looked like Loopers was going to be going for a move here, but he could be planning it for future. We've seen that just earlier on before. Dirty Zombie had a little peek at Bucko, and Bucko ended up making an error because of it, and then ended up getting a little out of shape and managing to get the position. RIZE McGurk has managed to get up past into first place, keeping it just within the white lines. Absolutely incredible there. Elpers gets a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. And we've got McGurk in the Haas, who's in the lead of this Grand Prix right now on the medium compound tyres. 10 laps old on lap 11. Now coming into the penultimate corner. And Kreiter's actually been overtaken by Dirty Zombie. Looking on at the battle here for first place. This is absolutely incredible here between the two of them. Who is going to be coming out on top? Coming down into Tamburello. Elpers will have the DRS as of now. Is he? No, he's not. Oh no, wait, he never got it just yet, is he? My mistake. This is the lap it's activated. It's going to be available next lap. So RIZE McGurk has got another small chance to try and make up that gap that he's needing in order to get out of that DRS window. It's going to be a tough one, but we'll carry on and we'll see how it is going to fare for them. Looking down at Kreiter right now on the soft compound tyres is actually struggling a bit more than I had anticipated, to be honest. but we'll see if that is going to be continuing on or if he's going to be able to go for a move soon. I think he could be going for a move here, going down into the Curva Grassini chicane. No, not just yet. He's opting to just wait for it. By this time, oh, it looked like he actually went for it there. But now is Dirty Zombie going to be coming up the inside of him? He's going to go for the outside, which is going to be a tough one. Is he going to manage to get it done? Nope. After Sheepers actually made a bit of a reconstruction to the track there by taking out one of the marker boards, unfortunately. Elpar's now looking to get past back up into the lead, going into Tamburello, using that DRS to full effect, and now gets up into first place. RIZE McGurk now moves down into second. GG peeps, pardon me there. We've got Kriters who moved up also on ends. So nicely done from them. And we could see this battle that's happening right now. RIZE McGurk is giving it everything he's got, battling against these two McLarens, as he knows that if he lets one of them ahead and both of them do end up getting ahead, it could be absolutely disastrous for him. So he's going to need to try and keep them behind for as long as possible. It's going to be a real tough one. He's going to have to try and use as little battery as he can right now until he gets out and gets down into Tamburello. Well, that's when it matters, is on the start-finish straight. Now coming into the final corner, Buckle and Sheepers swapping places there. We've got Elpers who's going for the move on RIZE McGurk now and getting past up into first place. Makes that look easy. Is Dirty Taffy going to be able to get close enough? Nope, doesn't look like it. Kriters does end up getting past Loopers, the other Mercedes, and moves up into fifth position. We've got Evan, who is just up next. And Elpars gets overtaken by RIZE McGurk. RIZE McGurk didn't always overtaken in the sort of Sector 2 area, almost. There is Elpars down there going into Tamburello. Quite interesting to see these strategies between the drivers. Kriters 3-second time penalty, and this is where it could all start going downhill, and it is all going to matter about penalties in the end, as only two drivers right now have not got penalties, and that's Loopers and Buckle. And if there's a late safety car on, like, say, well, I say that now as Loopers gets a 3-second time penalty, but if there's a late safety car, then we could end up seeing Buckle now only moving up quite a few positions. Looking on at Evan as they're battling out with Kriters, and Kriters has thrown it up the inside at the penultimate corner, and now moves up as Evans is now under threat from Loopers. Is going to get past. Nope, looks like Evans has managed to hold it off. Going back up to the front there, RIZE McGurk being overtaken by Elpers in the McLaren to take back the lead, but we'll keep an eye on RIZE McGurk as we could know that he is most likely going to end up going for a move real soon. When you go, RIZE McGurk now going up the inside, going into Piratella, and now moves up into first place yet again. Absolutely incredible battling here from these two, and Dirty Taffy's got the best view in the house, able to just sit on and watch all this going on. Just wait for that opportunity for that mess up to be able to make their way past and up into the lead, but they've got a rising silver on their hands just up ahead. You see the two make contact. Elpers and RIZE McGurk did make contact. We'll see, is that going to end up causing a swap or such? Doesn't look like it. But Kriters, oh, McGurk has actually not got any. Oh, into the wall goes Kriters! Kriters into the wall after trying to go up the middle there of Dirty Taffy. RIZE McGurk managed to get away be out of the way of that, fortunately enough. Has he got any damage? It doesn't appear to be, neither is the other McLaren. So we'll go further down and we'll see Kreiters, who has no front wing, was looking on at being the favourite here tonight, but has unfortunately ended up going into the wall with Dirty Taffy, both of them getting tangled up with each other. Has Dirty Taffy got any damage? Yep, it seems half of that front wing is torn off. Kreiters, all that wing is torn off, but we'll go back up right now as we're seeing the battle for the lead is 7 drivers all within a second of each other. Ends closing. Oh! And I certainly remember another time where it was a Ferrari that got pushed off like that in Bahrain from Nico Rosberg once time. And we ended up hearing one of the most famous lines. But looking on right now, Dirty Zombie getting past the ends, and it looks like Elpers has been overtaken also from RIZE, who now moves up into first position yet again. But is Elpers going to go for the move? Nope, doesn't look like it. Kreiters and Dirty Taffy both into the pit lane now. Kreiters jumping onto the medium compound tyres, same with Dirty Taffy, and they're both going to be joining back out in 10th and 11th. Looking on Evan though, they're right close to the back of Elpers. They're still managing to keep just with the drivers up in front, not fast enough to be able to go for a move just yet. But then again, I've said crazier things, and we know that that could all turn around in just a moment, which it looks like it is. Looking on right now at Sheepers, could they be going for a move on ends, going into penultimate corner? No, doesn't look like it, but ends and Dirty Zombie do. And is that Loopers has actually dropped down? Jeezy peeps, there's so much going on here with the ends and Evan here battling it out. And now RIZE McGurk still stays in the lead there. Dirty Zombie up. How the hell did he get up to third? Jesus. Nicely done. He went up that quick, he didn't even notice it. So Dirty Zombie is somehow up into third. Stacey Lou getting a 3-second time penalty, and look at just what I said before, the safety car, the penalties is going to end up happening, and a safety car could determine this Grand Prix. Drivers who are honourable mentions right now: RIZE McGurk, Loopers, Bucko and Kreiters all only on 3-second time penalties, so not too bad there. Has that Mercedes got damage? Nope, just a little bit slow right now. Must have made an error, unfortunately. Stacey Lowe, you could see them possibly ending up getting disqualified soon after they've got more seconds worth of penalties than laps that they've done right now. So always know that that isn't the best. Dirty Zombie has lost 2 positions here though. And it looks like RIZE McGurk has certainly risen to the occasion and is now pulling away and has created a decent gap there. Evan moving up into second place there on Elpers, and he moves up into the wall. Is that car going again? It is still going. We've got a virtual safety car. Can we see some drivers jumping into the pits possibly? It's going to be a tough one for them to get back around and get a pit stop done. And this is not going to be helping Kreiters, as they would have been hoping for a safety car. Same with Stacey Lou and Dirty Taffy also would have been hoping for a safety car. But now the drivers get to just be a little bit free with the tyres right now, just let them cool off. And we'll see, is RIZE McGurk going to keep that gap going into there. It seems like he is trying to keep it just in case. They end up going live again just before the DRS zone. So we'll end up seeing Evan jump into the pits after doing quite a nice running. So we go, DRS has been enabled. We've got the green flag to go back racing it again. 1.7 seconds is the gap to RIZE McGurk here, and that is just increasing, especially considering Sheepers is right on the tail of Elpers and is going around the outside, going into Toza. Is he going to go for a switch back? Nope. Oh, there's contact there between Dirty Zombie and that was, who was that? That was Sheepers and Dirty Zombie. That was just so unfortunate there for the Aston Martin driver. That is not good. Unfortunately, they've got some front wing damage, and that's on the hard compound tyres too. So, but unfortunate there, ends getting past Buckle here, after Buckle getting terrible traction there on the exit of Curva Grassini. Going to move up to Sheepers right now, who I most likely think will have a report in against them regarding that, as that was quite unfair, I will say, especially on Dirty Zombie, who did just end up getting collected. Buckle, jeez, he's big lock up there. Ends managing to get back past Buckle after Buckle does a big lock up and goes straight on almost at Tamburello. So we'll have a quick look at tyres, everyone, on either the medium or the hard compound tyres. Some drivers haven't even opted to pit yet. Oh, right, we're getting a 3-second time penalty. That increases that up to 6 seconds. And at this rate, this race is just going to be who has got the least amount of penalties. And I think that is one thing that is a bit more important, is keeping it within the white lines, of course. If you could just put pressure on the driver in front, causing them to get penalties by applying pressure, causing them to brake, like maybe, you could end up getting causing them to get a few penalties, and that's all just with the power of pressure. Can they keep it up? Elpers is going to have to try and keep the pressure on Sheepers and RIZE McGurk, as Sheepers has got 6 seconds worth, but Elpers has only got 12 seconds worth, so double that. So he's going to want to try and force mistakes from drivers in order to take advantage of that. But looking on right now, oh, Kryers and Dark Zombie jumping into the pits now to get a change of that front wing, and is opting for the medium compound tyres. Evan just put in the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, a 1:18.415. We'll move back up for this battle for second. Oh, that's right, Dirty Taffy just getting past Dirty Zombie there. Looking on at Sheepers right now, getting it all out of shape. They're coming around and to Ravazza. Is Elpers actually going to get close enough to the back of RIZE McGurk? Using that speed, he's going to be forced to take the outside line, going into turn 1 at Tamburello. Tries to cut off RIZE McGurk, but RIZE McGurk able to carry that momentum through there and keeps that first place. Sheepers right on the tail of that McLaren now, and we've got 4 drivers here, 4 different cars all battling it out for this lead in this Grand Prix. We're on lap 23 out of 63 laps, so we've still got plenty of racing still to come. Looking on at these two right now, well, these three, sorry, right close to each other. McGurk just that a little bit off the screen. And there we go, we can see him if we just look from this angle. And you could see Buckle and Ends also within this battle. So 5 different constructors with 6 drivers. Let's see how this is going to unfold. So we've got a DRS Trent now. Is Elpar's going to be able to go for a move here? It looks like he is. Forced to take that outside line again. Not going to be far enough alongside to be able to keep that position. Is Sheeper's going to be able to take advantage of Elpar's being off line a little? Doesn't look like it, but he is going to go for it. Going into Villeneuve up the inside of the first of the Villeneuve chicane. The left-hander goes up the inside there on Elpar's, going to take the inside line into the left-hand hairpin of Toza, and now moves up into second place. Now only 0.4 of a second and closing on RIZE McGurk. Is he going to be able to close enough in order to take the lead of this Grand Prix? Looking on further down, Buckle and the Loopers and Ends all still close together, battling it out. And the Loopers right close to the back of Elpars, who was sitting in second, so the top 6 are all still really close together. Critters down in 7th, 21.3 seconds the gap to Ends. RIZE McGurk being overtaken from Sheepers, and Sheeper takes the lead of this Grand Prix. Is he going to manage to keep it though? That is the question. 9 seconds worth of penalties right now. Technically, RIZE McGurk will still be the leader of this Grand Prix as things stand right now, technically, regarding penalties, but we'll see if that is going to be the case. Looking on at these top 6, all still close together. Loopers, I think the medium tyres may be starting to fall off now. I think this may be the time for possibly to jump onto the hard compound tyres maybe. I think the mediums may have run their course a little, especially with Elpars and RIZE McGurk battling it out so viciously in the opening few laps. But we'll see how things are going to be going and when they will be making their pit stops, which RIZE McGurk has. Now this is going to be close. RIZE McGurk is on the fresh hard compound tyres. Critters on the medium compound tyres. 9 laps old. Got about 10 laps left in them. RIZE McGurk will be able to close that gap. Don't think he will be able to get close enough in order to get the DRS before Critters does pit, but we'll see how things do unfold. 6.6 seconds is the gap right now. We're going to go back up to the top bunch. Sheepers are actually pulling away now and making that gap as Elpars and the Loopers are battling it out. And the Loopers now moves up into second place on the McLaren. Elpar's now using that DRS to full effect and now gets past the loopers. Is Bucko going to be able to follow through and do the same? Yes, he does. Moves up into third place. Still has to make a pit stop. Yeah. The top five have all done quite a lot of laps on them tyres. Sheepers is the only driver to pit, but whether he's going to be able to make them tyres last him to the end or not, that is the question. Got a yellow flag in sector 1. And that was Stacey O'Blue, unfortunately, who is a lap down. Let's see, as we're looking on, Sheepers now procuring a 6.5 second gap, while Bucko, Elpers and Loopers and Ends are all battling it out for that second place. This is just allowing the Ferrari to move further and further away. Kreiters has closed that gap to 11.6 seconds now, or 11.3 now, and it's just closing ever more and more. And that is the issue, unfortunately, that everyone is tripping up over each other. 26.4 seconds the gap to Sheepers. For RIZE McGurk, we've got a yellow flag in sector 3. Who may that be for? Unsure, but Bucko has just been overtaken by Elpers, who has took that second place. And is Bucko going to be able to get it back? Yep, Loopers actually left the door open there for Bucko. Bucko, who has actually got a broken front wing, that is what's slowing him down so much. He's going to have to definitely get back into the pits and get that repaired when he next comes in. I don't think it's bothering him too much. I think he's okay with it just for now. But he's definitely going to be wanting to get that sorted as quick as he can. Nope, he's not. He's actually going off the track and such there, but he most likely will be wanting to try and still keep to that one-stop strategy. Doing quite excellent to keep all the drivers behind. The Loopers is actually, Elpers and the Loopers has actually lost a good bit of time there to Bucko. Over a second there. Now the gap is Ends closing up on Loopers and Elpers. His teammate of Loopers just ahead of him. Is he going to manage to go for an overtake just now? He's got the battery. Elpers jumps into the pit lane to get new tyres. Looking on the ends here, both Mercedes have the DRS, so it's not going to be much help. Kreiters now moves up into 5th place with Dirty Taffy getting a 3-second time penalty, down in 9th place. RIZE McGurk has closed that gap. No, he's not. Not closed that gap on Kreiters. That's actually quite an interesting one, to be honest. Oh, Dirty Taffy's went and retired from the Grand Prix. Dirty Zombie, sorry. Dirty Taffy is around though at turn 1. Does manage to get going. So Dirty Zombie unfortunately is out of this Grand Prix. Looking on at the penalty situation as things stand right now, 9 seconds for Sheepers, 6 seconds for Bucko. Ends and Loopers both on 9 seconds as Loopers comes into the pits to get off them medium tyres, jumping onto the hard compound now. Opting for that one-stop strategy. RIZE McGurk now manages to get past, and so does Evan. As Loopers is just trundling down. Is Elpers going to be able to get the jump on him? That is the question. I don't think he is, as we could just see him just crossing that line. So the overcut is actually a bit better here. Tyres not managing to get up to temperature as quick as normal. Oh, RIZE McGurk getting another 3-second time penalty, puts them up to 9 seconds worth. Unfortunately, that's one thing you don't want, is penalties. Ends getting another 3-second time penalty. That puts them up to 12 seconds. just getting more and more. .7 seconds the gap to the leader. Loopers and Elpers have closed the gap on one another. This is the closest battle on the track right now. Elpers is going to be wanting to make that move as quick as he can before the hard tyres get properly fired up. As you see there, Elpers has got their tyres nice and toasty up to now. But Loopers has still got time to get them up and running, but it's not going to be enough time, as here comes Elpers with the DRS and now moves up into 7th place now. Nicely does it. So we've got the top 4 who have all, well, Sheepers, I'm unsure about them if they're going to be making another pit stop or not, but Kreiters has caught up to the back of Buckle and ends who is sitting 1.1 seconds back on Buckle. Buckle in second, sitting 12.3 seconds behind Sheepers right now. Very, very far away in the lead right now. We'll see if the Ferrari is going to be able to hold it. If so, then that is going to be good, strong points for the Ferrari team, who are currently sitting last in the constructors right now. Elpers getting a 3-second time penalty, trying to pull that gap on Loopers. Colonel Garcini is a very interesting one. Very easy to end up just extending that a little bit too far out, especially considering it closes up on the exit of the chicane. So you have to end up being extra careful of that. Loopers now got the DRS to fire back at the McLaren. Look on from the rear view wing. And it doesn't look like Loopers is going to be getting close enough with a yellow flag there at the final sector. I think that may have been Stacey Wu. And I don't have any idea how far Stacey Wu is behind. So let's see, is Loopers going to get back past Elpers here? Looking on right now, Loopers getting right close to the back of that McLaren. And oh, don't want to be taking too much apex there out of the final corner. That is not going to be too good, but he still manages to make it work with the help of the DRS, and now moves up into 7th place. And it's the closest battle that is on track right now. Elpers getting a little bit out of shape there, going through Tamburello. Going to move up right now to Kreiters, who going into Aquaman Rally goes and drifts it past ends there. Absolutely spectacular move there. Not spectacular on them yellow old Pirellis, but still manages to make that move absolutely beautiful there. Up into 3rd place they go. On the rear view wing of Kreiters right now. We've got a yellow flag flashing away in sector 1. That's for Stacey Wu. Unfortunately not being their best race right now. Or was that Dirty Taffy actually? I think it was actually Dirty Taffy there who got out of shape. And my god, that McLaren is absolutely dirty. So definitely not being able to keep it on track. Neither is I think that was Stacey Wu there, was it? Struggling to keep it on track. Sheepers now just coming up to lap the car of Stacey Wu. So Kreiters is now on the tail of Buckle as he managed to get that DRS. Don't think he did, but he is going to be definitely close enough to make a move quite soon, unless nope, he's not opting to go into the pits just yet. But Buckle has done quite nicely on these hard compound tyres now. Went over half the Grand Prix on them hard compounds right now, so we'll see how much longer will we be able to keep on them before opting to go onto the yellow walled Pirellis. Coming into Tosa now, Kreiter's right on the tail of that Red Bull. So we just see, and I just realised I've been speaking to myself, so absolutely spectacular. Looking on right now, RIZE is in third place there, managing to get up there. Looking on at what happened with Buckle was a bit of a shock, and when it did end up going back and looking at it, just getting a bit too much on the traction, you know, and the tyres are last time gone pretty much. Yellow flag in sector 1. As for Stacey Wu, struggling to keep it on the track, unfortunately. Oh, that is on that. So big split right now. Dirty Taffy, 3-second time penalty. We'll have a look at all the penalties right now. So 9 seconds worth for Sheepers, 3 seconds worth for Kreiters. Doing quite well with just 3 seconds worth. 9 seconds for Buckle and Rise McGurk. 6 seconds for Evan. 12 12 seconds for Loopers Elpers on 21, 25 seconds for Ends, and 24 seconds for Dirty Taffy, and Stacey Lou on 30 seconds. So, oh, jeezy peeps, that was close. Managing to keep that under control, and Criters looking like they had a bit of a wobble there also. Stacey Lou's 3-second time penalty, struggling right now. We'll get the tyres up right now, and they're just on the fresh mediums, so it can't be a case of tyres anyway. It's just a bit unfortunate sometimes. Need to come to grips with the track sometimes. So Stacey Lou has retired from the Grand Prix, and it's a bit unfortunate, but these things do end up happening, of course. Must have just got a bit much, and of course we'll end up getting disqualified if you end up with too many penalties. Looking on at Buckle right now, seen a couple of pit stops there from Criters and Evans. So Evan into the pits now, opting for the hard compound tyres. Criter, who didn't enjoy them the last time, is jumping back onto another fresh set of hard compound tyres. A bit of an interesting strategy, but we'll see how they're going to be getting on. We've got 23 laps remaining. So, Ends managing to just get past Criters there, getting past Evans, sorry, and move up into that 6th position. Nicely done. We've got Buckle here, who's right behind this, and this is going to be a nice little battle here between these three. At the very least, Criters has managed to make himself quite a big gap up to now between Ends, Evan and Buckle. Sheepers into the wall. Oh, that is interesting. That is definitely interesting. We'll see how that is going to unfold. We'll keep an eye on Sheepers as they're just coming around Toza, and RIZE McGurk is right on their tail and could actually overtake just before they get into the pit lane. We'll see if that is going to be the case as they're coming around Piratella now into Aqua Minerale. And RIZE McGurk could see that, he could smell the blood in the water right now, and he is going in for it. Let's see how things are going to unfold. He is definitely going to be pushing. If he does end up it was a bit of grass. I thought that was a bit of rain. I was about to say cheesy peeps, but fortunately enough, it is just a little bit of grass there. Looking on right now, so see the Ferrari jumping into the pit lane, and RIZE McGurk takes the lead of this Grand Prix once again. So what we'll do is we'll have a look at the gap to the leader, and we'll get back to that in just a moment. Looking on it right now, about 26.4 seconds for Criters. Is Criters going to be able to get past Sheepers here? I think he is. Criters puts in the fastest lap of 1:17.990, and that's on the hard compound tyres, which is surprising enough. Sheepers now comes out in this right behind Evan. And Buckle there getting involved also. That was looking like close. Is Buckle going to be able to get up there and battle with Sheepers? He has came in and got a new front wing on also, so a few laps ago, so that does always end up helping out. Buckle was surviving without front left end plate, but now is back in the running again. We see these lot are battling out for 5th place, of course. Fastest lap right now is Criters. We're going to go and look at penalty situations. So Ends is in a terrible situation right now. Best position he's looking at is possibly in 8th place as things stand. So looking on right now, who are we going to see going for a move? Is Evans going to go for a move on Ends? Yes, he is, using that DRS quite nicely. And why is the camera lagging behind? The cameraman is so lazy today for some reason, a bit of an odd one, but unfortunately Sheepers wasn't able to get up and get past Ends. Loopers getting another 3-second time penalty. I've seen them just wrapping up now. The driver's getting an award for most penalties, because that's seeming like kind of reminding me of Austria. Was it 2022? I think it was, where there was like over 1,000 odd, something like 1,500 or something penalties or track infringement violations, and it was just absolutely insane. Kreiter's getting another one. 3 seconds, that adds up to 6 seconds worth of time penalties. Technically he is looking on at Sheepers now. Is Buckle going to be able to get past him here? Bit of a lock up there from Buckle, but he could still go for a move here. He is going to have the DRS, but of course so is Sheepers. So RIZE McGurk, 8.8 seconds in the lead now, absolutely incredible. Doing it quite nicely there, but Kreiters is the driver who's the quickest right now. We'll soon see if he's got what it takes in order to carry on with that lead. Closest battle on track right now is this battle for 6th position between Ends, Sheepers and Buckle. So we're looking on board from Buckle in that Red Bull. We see Ends jumps off into the pit lane, so that means that Buckle isn't going to be able to get a chance at Sheepers right now. But we'll just stay with Buckle now. It's on the 8-lap-old hard compound tyres, Sheepers medium tyres, Sheepers on 3-lap-old medium tyres. So a little bit of a difference there between the two of them. Now, is Buckle going to be able to get this overtake done? Looking on at penalties, he isn't really going to need to get it done just yet. Anyway, but if he wants to get past Evan, who's just a couple of seconds up the road, he can actually do that. He's just within sight there. Just see him just rounding that corner there as he returns into sight there. Thing is also Buckle's going to need to make sure that you get them tyres to the end. 12 seconds now for RIZE McGurk. And he's going to need to try and stay at least 6 seconds in the lead now if he hopes to get the victory. Well, over Kreiters anyway. So closest battle right now between Sheepers and Bucko for this 6th position. Stacey Lute's left session, but unfortunate there. We're on lap 46 out of 63 now. Is Bucko going to be able to go for this move? It looks like he is going to take that outside line, going into Tamburello. But hold on a minute, Sheepers being ever so ballsy, manages to hold off and keep that 6th position away from the Red Bull there. Brilliant battle in there from the two of them. Kreiters has caught up to Elpars, and RIZE McGurk's actually lifted off a little, as it seems that he's lost a little bit of time, maybe trying to make it, trying to keep it a little bit cautious, but of course you're going to have to try and not be too cautious, as you want to try and keep that 6 second gap to Kreiters if you want to get that win. But Kreiters is just reeling it in now. He's able to push like crazy on them hard compound tyres. Got them up working nice, and he's only 2.6 seconds off of Elpars in that McLaren just up ahead. And he's putting another fastest lap of 1:17.588. Bucko not going to be going for it just yet, just trying to close that gap ever so slightly. Something it's always about them little margins in this sport. Oh, and Sheepers is into the wall. Sheepers is into the wall there at the exit of Villeneuve. Did just end up missing that. Let's see if we can get that on the stream. Did that? Oh, just hitting the gravel there on the exit of the Villeneuve chicane, enough to send Sheepers into the wall. Broken front wing, will have to end up coming back in for a pit stop. Kreiters is now caught up to the back of Elpars. We'll keep this gap to the leader. The gap's currently sitting at 14.7 seconds. As long as that, he's got about an 8 second deficit right now to RIZE McGurk. We'll keep you informed on the gap as things carry on. Oh, Sheepers big lock up there and lag. Okay, that was an odd one, I will say. Locked up going into Piratel and ended up lagging. That was a bit of an odd one. Kreiters finding any which way he can here on Elpars. McLaren against the Sauber, who is going to be coming out victorious. It looks like it could be Kreiters, who is on the half as old tyres. So there we go, now up into third place, and if he could catch up to Loopers, then he could essentially actually take the win here. We've only got about 15 laps to go, 14 after this, so not too many laps left in this Grand Prix after up to 63 laps, and it looks like Craters has actually just put in the fastest time in Sector 1. We'll see if that is going to hold off, as now he's making his way into Acqua Minerale. Now into the Curva Grissini. Oh, and Engine Sheeper swap places there. I didn't even see them being that close there. That was came as a surprise, to be honest. Craters putting in another fastest lap on 17.472. He is absolutely blitzing it right now. Lap 50 we are on right now. Caution, yellow flag in Sector 3. That's Dirty Taffy. Coming out of the Curva Grissini. Any wing damage? Nope. Just damage to the ego, that is all. So the one to watch here is Craters. RIZE McGurk better start getting the move on, as there isn't much left in it. There's only 4 seconds of a gap left between McGurk and Craters, and that is closing quicker and quicker each and every lap. And especially considering the age of the tyres, 11 lap old tyres for Craters against McGurk's 25 lap old tyres. I think that's this hard tyres are starting to come to near the end of their life, and we've got a Mercedes, that's not Loopers, that's Ends, who's around at the Villeneuve chicane and ends up getting a little bit out of shape. We've got RIZE McGurk who's just coming up behind. Why does the Haas sound like an electric car? It's honestly insane. But right now, gap 8.9 seconds. It is closing, and as things stand right now, Craters could end up taking victory here. If he gets another penalty though, that could be it. If Craters gets another time penalty, of course, we have already had the reports in regarding the track limits. A lot of people don't like the track limits here. They would say that they're a bit of a joke, to be honest, and to be honest, sometimes I would agree. But then again, at the same time, you've got to keep it within the white lines. 8.7 seconds is the gap to Craters on lap 52 now out of 63. Ends out of the pit. We could possibly see him going for fastest lap. Sheepers is set the fastest lap up to now, 1:17.106. Fastest lap for RIZE McGurk, 1:19 flat, so he's doing constant 1:19. So Craters pulling in about a second per lap on the cars ahead. Really incredible, and especially going through Acqua Minerale. That's seen that he's closed that gap by half a second there, just in that couple of corners. Sector 3 is definitely strongest. End of Sector 2 and start of Sector 3 definitely. Craters strongest corner's got a lot of downforce on that Silver. So 1 second is the window here between RIZE McGurk and Criters. 1 second is all that sits between Criters getting the victory or second place. We've only got a few laps left to go. We're on lap 53, just got 10 laps left, and that is all. 6.7 seconds is the gap. Seems that unfortunately Dirty Taffy has disconnected. We'll see if we could get them back. Actually, it'll be a bit tough. Sorry about that there, folks. I was trying to get see if I could get Dirty Taffy into the lobby, but unfortunately I can't, as I don't have them on my friends list, so it's a bit of a difficult one. Elpers and Bucko have both opted to jump into the pits for a fresh set of soft tyres near the end. And now Criters is within that 6 second margin, it seems, on RIZE McGurk. So RIZE McGurk's just trying to hold off onto that second place now. If Criters does end up getting a 3 second penalty, that is going to be that could be possibly it for them. Dirty Taffy, did they manage to get back in? Yeah, it seems that that's nicely done. They managed to get back in and get reconnected back into the lobby. Criters now got that gap down to 5 seconds. Yeah, unfortunately, a couple of drivers did end up dropping out. A couple last minute, unfortunately, with work. But yeah, in the end, a couple of drivers ended up just being too far back, unfortunately, with this track. You know how it is sometimes. But looking on right now, Criters sitting in 3rd place. Technically in 1st due to penalties and such. But we'll see how that is going to go. Dirty Taffy getting another 3 second time penalty. Go up to RIZE McGurk, who's sitting in 1st place. We've got a yellow flag in sector 1, and we've got a goddamn safety car. Oh my god. This is it. This is where things are going to start heating up. So, safety car now. And we've already caught up to the back of the safety car because I think a lot of drivers, some of them may actually opt to jump into the pits. We'll see if that is going to be the case. Evan does decide to jump into the pits. Elper will most likely stay out. And everyone behind that will most likely stay out. No, Elper jumps into the pits for another fresh set of softs. So 2 laps is too much, it seems, for them tyres. We'll see Bucko, are they going to be staying out or are they going to try to take the track position from Elpers? No, they're jumping into the pits. Also, Sheepers, what are they going to do? pit, and comes out Dirty Toffee. What are they going to do? Ends, does it end up with a penalty? So Evan just coming around at Toza right now. This is going to be quite an interesting one. We'll see if any of these top three are going to opt to jump into the pits. I think they will have time. But we'll see. I think RIZE McGurk is definitely one that has to pit. "30 laps on them hard compound tyres. Get them off, you're going to be swallowed up by the pack." Yes, into the pits. All three of them do end up coming into the pits. And Evan is actually surprisingly going to be able to take the lead of this Grand Prix. Now he's able to just launch himself straight up and should be able to take up residence in that first place spot. Yep, there we go. So Evan does have 12 seconds worth of penalties, but can end up taking the victory here depending on what happens on the restart. We'll see. Elpers isn't going to be getting anywhere further, so it looks like it's going to be RIZE McGurk coming through in second, with Kreiter's third, and fourth will be Loopers. Kreiter's actually got past Loopers in the pits. Oh, interesting. Never expected that, to be honest. But it happens, so there we go. Now we're just going to wait for the field to all bunch back up. Dirty Toffee has got a bit of a way to make their way back, so it's going to be a bit of an interesting one. So now it looks like all the drivers are bunched back up, almost. Dirty Toffee's still taking a bit of time to get back and around. So, but unfortunately, they won't be able to get their way back around and be back on the lead lap. It's a bit unfortunate, I will say, that EA does have to, something that EA does have to sort. The case of lapped cars isn't the best. 3-second time penalty for Dirty Toffee for pushing a bit too hard. Oh, so there we go. There we go. Safety car is in this lap, and now we are getting ready to get underway racing again. It's going to be Evan in the Alpine who's going to be taking us away. But my eyes are on Kreiters right now, who is looking like he's going to be going for that move on McGurk, moving up into second place at the Tamburello chicane. We've seen a bit of a lock up there from a driver. I couldn't see who it was, and that was just odd there, I will say, between Dirty Taffy and Sheepers. Just getting me all the sorts there. I thought there would be a big crash there. But Loopers got Ends right ahead of him. Ends is going to have to move out the way for Loopers. As Loopers is on the lead lap, could be looking at good points here for the Mercedes team. The one who looks like he's going to be able to extend his championship advantage right now is Kreiters. As we're on lap 59, it's looking like he is going to be moving up and getting that first position as penalties stand right now. The driver who has kept it in between the white lines the most and is currently sitting in second place right now. 6 seconds less worth of penalties than Evan, who is in first place right now. So Evan could end up getting that second place, but that is as high as he's going to be able to get unless he can create a 6 second gap within 3 laps. Well, 4 laps, I should say. So it's going to be a very difficult one to do. But we'll see how things are going to be unfolding. Looking on right now, Loopers now getting past Elpers. These two have been going at it quite a bit here in this Grand Prix, and now Loopers moves up into 4th place. He knows that he just had to get Elpers out of the way to try and catch up to the rest of the field, but of course 18 seconds worth is going to be a bit much to try and get anywhere further, as he has got an extra 6 seconds worth on the driver ahead. Sheepers getting a 3 second time penalty for multiple warnings, so now up to 21 seconds. Elpers getting a little bit out of shape there, getting disorientated from that Mercedes that's up ahead. Ends should really get out of the way, as he's just causing a hindrance to all the cars that are around him. And Evan is actually been overtaken for the lead of this Grand Prix, and Kreiters takes the lead of this Grand Prix yet again. Oh no, that Red Bull, they're drifting almost, it looked like, with the amount of smoke that was coming off them tyres. Blue flag, blue flag. And now Ends finally moves out of the way to allow the faster drivers who are on the lead lap past. And it looks like it's the same as about to happen as Sheepers now moves past. There we go. And now we should be seeing no more blue flags. Nope, the indicator is off the board. Looking on at Elpers and Buckle, Elpers and Loopers battling out side by side. Buckle ends up going into the back of the McLaren. Is he going to manage to get past Elpers here? It looks like he is going to manage to do it. And is Sheepers going to be able to do the same? Oh, looks like they're coming to contact there between the McLaren and the Red Bull. This is getting quite close here. They're still side by side coming out of the final corner. Who got the DRS? I think both of them may have. Yep, they did. All 3 of them have. And is Sheepers going to be able to move up into 5th place? It doesn't look like he's going to have to stay where he is. Buckle managing to keep that going. But Elpers launching up the inside there. Takes the 5th place. Does have extra penalties though, but not letting that put his drive and determination down any. Now can RIZE get Evan here? This is going to be his last opportunity. In order to get it, he's going to hope that Kreiters could pull away or make an error that's going to allow Evans not to get the DRS. It's going to be really difficult. He's going to be hoping for a great launch here out of the final chicane. It looks like Dirty Taffy is into the wall, and we've got a yellow flag in Sector 2, at the end of Sector 2, just coming out of Aqua Minerale. But right now, our attention is diverted to the lead of this Grand Prix. Who is going to be able to take that top step? It's most definitely going to be Kreiters, who's sitting 6 seconds ahead, technically. Now, is RIZE going to be able to do anything? The furthest he can get is a second place. He's got that Alpine right ahead of him, and he's just going to be waiting for that opportunity, but he's going to have to force an opportunity here. Loopers has got a 3-second time penalty. That's going to not be good for him. 21 seconds worth of penalties now. Can Buckle actually get past? That's going to be the question. We're going right down here to Buckle, who's actually looking right close. Elpers and Sheepers looking like they're going to be coming into contact here. They end up going off the track. They're battling side by side, and looking on at this. Buckle has got a brilliant view of this, seeing all this battling going on, and Buckle actually ends up getting himself another 3-second time penalty, so now he knows he has to make this move and get up past the Sheepers for that 5th position, and using as much of that track as possible. Is he going to be able to do it? We'll go and flash forward to the front of the pack as Critters comes across the line to take the victory here, with Evans in 2nd, RIZE 3rd. Loopers is going to take 4th position. Sheepers is going to be 5th, 6th for Buckle, 7th for Loopers, and ends in 8th with Dirty Taffy rounding it out in 9th. Just coming around the final corner into Ravazza. And there we have it, folks. That is the end of the 63 lap Grand Prix here at Imola for round 7 of season 2 of Make Your History here with RIZE Racing League. Kreiters getting the driver of the day, and I think that would be quite a fair assessment. Quite nicely driven from the Silver driver. There we go, see the drivers taken to the podium. Kreiters in 1st place. 2nd place for Evan, and RIZE in 3rd. And also Kreiters did take the fastest lap, a 1:16.068. Loopers in 4th. 5th for Sheepers, Buckle 6th, 7th for Elpers, ends in 8th, and 9th for Dirty Taffy. Both ends and Dirty Taffy were a lap down. And then Stacey Lou, Dirty Zombie, and Captain Jeff all ended up retiring from the Grand Prix and did not make it to the end, unfortunately. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on. So next week we are going to be at, where are we going to be at? Monaco on the 22nd of October. So that's going to be at 8 PM. Also next week on Tuesday, I'm also going to be live on Thursday this week also, so stay tuned for that, and that's going to be at 8 o'clock UK time. Until next time, everyone, peace out.